So the idea of requirement 9, enter test result, is that the nurse should be able to enter those pending test results. And also the quarantine positives means let's have two lists of patients. One is the list of all patients that have tested positive and are in quarantine currently. So let's go and do that. Well, we know we're going to have to add some field to the patient object to represent whether or not the patient is positive. So let's add a true-false fields for that. Then let's add a process for the nurse to enter the test result. This process is going to be once again one with an input of a patient, and we're going to ask a simple yes/no question. Is the result positive for COVID? And we're going to update the input object, the patient instance. We're going to make it map the yes/no, true/false, to the positive field. So if the user says yes, it's positive, then the positive field becomes true. So we have a new process, and we can add that as a component. And let's have a look. We've got patient actions here. We can add it as an action. So now the nurse has 2, record temperature, enter test result for each patient. And now we want to implement this idea of 2 lists. So at the moment we have a login and then a single patient list, but we want 2 lists, one which is the list of patients that have tested positive. So let's have a tab dialog here instead of this single list. Let's have a tabs. Let's make the tabs to be what you get when you log in. Let's put the original list with all of its children as one tab, but let's add another list, which is another patient list. And we're going to call this quarantining. Let's put that as the second tab. We can format this. Put the name in there to be what we show for each patient. And then importantly, under data, we want to restrict it, not all instances of patient, but only those patients for whom positive is true. So we can add a filter here. Positive is true. So that filter guarantees we're only going to show patients for whom the test was positive. And let's go back to this list and put a filter so that we only show patients for whom that field is negative. Positive should be false. So no patient appears in both lists. So let's see whether that works. So we had Fred. Don't care about the birth date. Oh yeah, we do care about the birth date because we've added the condition that person only needs to test if they're at least 18 years old. So let's have a patient of that age, sufficient age. Then we're going to, well, we can test we've got 2 patients in the normal list and nobody in the quarantining list. So we'll do a record temperature for Mary, which will be 39, which will be setting the flag that there's a pending test for her. There we are, pending test. And then a bit later, nurse gets the results and does enter test result. Yes, positive. So now we've got only Fred in the patient list and Mary quarantining.